to everyone, and I know we're on a very, very tight timeline, so I'm going to jump right in. Of course, you all see my name there, but everyone just calls me Mo, all right? And I'm one of the assistant directors of admission from SCAD. So without further ado, can you all see well, just a moment. Hold on one second. There we go. This should work. Hopefully you can see my screen. Yes? Okay, perfect. All right, so we'll go ahead and jump right in. Come on, there we go. So SCAD stands for Savannah College of Art and Design.
I'm driven to create.
To be expressive.
To collaborate with only the best and across disciplines.
If you have an outlet like the arts where you can be in these other worlds and imagine anything, growing up in the arts, I've seen it change people's lives.
There are things happening in our classrooms where students are actually reimagining their own education in the way that we communicate with each other.
What is that next step for them? How are they going to make those contacts with their future employers?
During my time at SCAD, what was so magical was that it was this hot pot of creative people from different types of majors that could influence each other.
I would say my two greatest lessons that I learned from SCAD were learning the structure of the industry and the strong work ethic, but I think you really hone those skills at SCAD.
I am the creative director of Christopher John Rogers. Growing up, I always knew that fashion was my passion. Ew, gross. Okay, wait.
I absolutely love SCAD.
I love SCAD too. I love it more than John Krasinski.
Hey, Bees.
Hey, SCAD.
Hello, SCAD. Extremely bright, smart people who love creativity, fashion, design, art, film, telling their version of their own story.
I am an artist.
I am a performer.
I'm an entrepreneur.
Storyteller. Thanks to SCAD, my future as a creative professional is real. It's happening.
You are the next incarnation of this beautiful planet that needs design, that needs beauty, that needs your mind and your spirit and your energy, your power, your unique voice.
Because you have something unique to say.
This is SCAD.
Anyone who asks me about colleges in US, all I say is SCAD. Don't even think of anything else.
All right, so again, Savannah College of Art and Design. We were founded in the year of 1978, and since then, SCAD has actually grown to become one of the largest, most comprehensive design schools in the entire world. And for those of you who may not be familiar with exactly where Savannah is geographically, it is in the state of Georgia. More specifically, it's in the southeastern region of the state, and it's a coastal city. So it's right along the coastline with Florida, Georgia, like Florida-Georgia line. That's not just a group, that's actually a thing. So it's Florida, Georgia, South Carolina. And the really special thing about Savannah is that it's actually on the National Historic Registry of Landmarks. So the building that you're looking at there, that is the very first building where we opened our doors with 71 students. And at that time, we had 7 programs, majors, if you will, and we had 11 faculty. Fast forward to the year 2021, we now have about 80 buildings, 80 to be exact. It's 81 buildings integrated all throughout the city. And like I said, the city is protected by law through that National Historic Preservation. So all of the original architecture really is a great backdrop. And we went in and kind of scatified it, right? So we kind of breathed this really kind of artsy, eclectic air into the culture there. And when we opened the doors, we said, we don't want this to be just any art school or just another art school. We want this to be something special, where creatives come and really elevate their skill sets, but at the same time, they specifically are preparing for a creative career. And I think this is what immediately started to set not just SCAD apart, but our students. And with that mission in mind, we started to expand the university, and we now have our campus location in Atlanta as well as in Lacoste, France. Now, in Atlanta, represented there in the upper left-hand corner, that campus is just 4 hours north of Savannah. So they're both in the state of Georgia, but they're only about 4 hours apart. It's like driving from Dallas to Houston, right? So that's how close they are logistically, but they have very, very unique and dynamic ways that our students are able to now connect with the world in a different way. Because there in Savannah, it feels very much like a traditional college town. You know, we say it's big SCAD in a small city, but then you go 4 hours north and the campus is a little bit smaller. I mean, it's still a really, really nice sized campus, but it's a little smaller campus in a big metropolitan city. So now it's like you're going to school in Atlanta, New York, Chicago. And the students there in the upper left-hand corner, they're actually standing on the top floor of their residence hall where they live, and it overlooks the city. And in the backdrop, there's the headquarters for Coca-Cola, the headquarters for CNN. Right across the street from SCAD is the corporate headquarters for Cartoon Network and Adult Swim, and so on and so forth. So it's situated right in the heartbeat of the Arts and Cultural District and surrounded by Fortune 500 companies. Georgia, the state, is now the #1 location in the entire United States where the bulk of most film and television are actually produced. So we have really, really kind of kept our finger on the pulse of how industries are really starting to shape where and how they do business, not just here in the United States, but globally. With that being said, we opened our third campus location, which is represented in the upper right-hand corner, and that is SCAD Lacoste. Lacoste is in the south of France. It's about 6 hours from Paris. And when people look at the picture, they always ask me, well, where's the school? And you're actually looking at it. Those two buildings that you see there, those are the residence halls where the students live. That's their pool where they can kind of relax, do homework at night. We have screens that come down on the sides of the building where they can watch movies and things like that. And then all around those residence halls are all the different academic facilities, the dining halls, and there on the hill, we have more of our academic facilities as well as that's the actual city of Lacoste. So an amazing, amazing, amazing place for our students to gain new inspiration and again, really start to understand the world that they would soon be designing for as industry professionals. So those are the 3 physical campuses, but in addition to those, we also have our SCAD e-learning represented there in the lower right-hand corner. I want to make a very distinct note about SCAD e-learning. It is no different from any of the physical locations in terms of the academics, the professors who are teaching classes, the degrees that you receive. But the one big benefit about SCAD e-learning is it gives our students even greater flexibility to study whenever, wherever, all throughout the world. Now, with that being said, say you have an internship in Australia or in South America, and you still needed to continue your studies, but you definitely don't want to miss out on those incredible opportunities that we're able to help our students garner. You can do your internships and transition seamlessly onto e-learning. And that's the same for any of our campus locations, because even though we are 4 different locations, we're one SCAD and one global campus. And when I say global campus, that's because every single student who is accepted to SCAD, they are admitted globally. That means that they're accepted into Savannah, Atlanta, Lacoste, France, and e-learning, and their tuition is consistent for all campuses. So our students can simply pick whatever campus they would like to study at that particular time, make out their course schedules, and they can transfer back and forth throughout the world while they are SCAD students, which is absolutely incredible on a personal level, but I think professionally it's very strategic, again, in preparing you for the actual world that you'll soon be designing for. We have over 15,000 students, again, making us one of the largest and most comprehensive design schools. And our students come from all 50 United States and from more than 100 different countries around the world. So we are very, very rich in diversity in terms of our student population. And that too really lends itself to help build that creative culture that we talk about, because now you're starting to collaborate and make friends with and become peers with and creative design thinkers right alongside students from all around the world. And now you're starting to have dialogues and approach the artistic and creative process from so many different vantage points, because now you're able to take on much more information about how things are done around the world and outside of maybe just the space that you are currently familiar with. So diversity is extremely important at SCAD. Now, just as diverse as our students, so are our programs. We have 43 different majors, which are all listed there, and they touch on pretty much all things creative. Of course, we go through all of the fine arts disciplines like drawing, painting, sculpting, photography, but we touch on everything that really kind of encapsulates this world that we live in, because everything around you is design. So we have architecture, animation, game design, whoever thought game design, and that's a huge program for us. And it's something that really kind of translates into so many different industries. It's not just the physical gaming that you're playing. You're learning so much about computer coding and branding and all of the different design elements that go into game design. Again, very transitional into so many other industries. Now, in addition to the 43 majors that you see listed there, we also have about 75 different minors. So collectively, we have over 100 degree programs for our students to really customize their studies to fit what they are looking to do professionally, again, with a very specific focus on preparing you creatively, but then also helping you to develop the business acumen to prepare you for creative careers. Another amazing resource is definitely going to be our faculty. They are very, very diverse in terms of their backgrounds. They come from all around the world, and they are top within their respective industries, coming from leading companies, Fortune 500 companies and design firms from all around the world. So you are getting the best of the best in terms of academic tutelage from our amazing professors. Our students have access to world-class facilities and state-of-the-art technology. So we don't have just traditional classes at SCAD. You're working in design spaces, right? Because it's important that you really start to understand how to utilize all of the amazing resources that our students have, and to really start to take on this applied learning and put it into the context of what employers are looking for. So I think it's a really creative and a very, very meaningful educational model that we have at SCAD. Now, with such an intense focus on preparing you for industry, we have an amazing design professional arm within SCAD, and it's called SCAD Pro. And that's where leading companies, they come to SCAD. They come to SCAD because they know the caliber of our students, they know the caliber of their work. And this is even before our students graduate. They're able to do real world projects with amazing companies. So they're starting to make those professional industry connections. They are building their skill set because they're putting it into applied learning, creating actual products and content for these companies, and they're building their resumes because, again, these are actual projects that they're working on even before they graduate. So here's a little bit more about creative careers.
Actually, I'm so sorry. Well,
yes.
We are running on time. I mean, we're right at time right now.
Okay.
So
okay. Well, let me give you all my contact information. That way, if you all have questions, you can definitely reach out to me. So if you all want to do a quick screenshot, you can save my contact information, and please do not hesitate to reach out to me. You can email me, call me, text me. We can set up a Zoom and talk more about the university.
Oh, thank you so much. This was awesome. Great information. Beautiful school too. I've never seen a picture of it too. So it's super lovely. So I hope everyone
Thank you so much.
yes, has a chance to take a look and contact Mo if they have any more questions. Thank you for your time.
All right.
Thanks for visiting us in El Paso. And I hope
thanks for having me.
Day.
Thanks, you too. Stay safe.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.